On January 31st, the day JT Miller got traded, a hole opened up in the Canucks roster. Marcus Pettersson, Drew O'Connor, Victor Mancini, they all filled holes that the Canucks had. But losing JT Miller, a hole at 2C opened up. And Filipino was just a band-aid patch at the time. But now, he looks like he can make a serious, serious push to be a true 2C. How's it going, guys? I'm CanucksLand. Welcome back to the CanucksLand podcast. Today is episode 6. We're going to be going over the Canucks 2C role and how those players who are contending and their center depth. It's mainly their center depth entirely, but the 2C role is one that we do have to focus on and how those players have been playing, because a lot of them have been playing great. Filipino, it's had a couple of great games, but we're going to be going through, sorry, I'm still getting the pointing down. We're going to be going through what's the current group, how are they playing, what are the options, and what I would do in terms of this center depth position. So, let's start with what's the current group. The current group right now as it stands is Elias Pettersson's the first line center. Filipino is kind of locked at 2C because he's the only guy who's closest to a 2C at the moment in the Vancouver Canucks roster. You could honestly split third line center, fourth line center. You could be like, you know what, throw Ratu there, throw Bluger there. So we're going to have them as both 3C, 4C as Ratu and Bluger, depending on just how they end up and who plays really good at training camp and who impresses. And then their depth. They got Niels Oman, Max Sasson, Linus Karlsson can play center, and Joseph Labate can play center as well. Anyone else? No, I think that's pretty much it. But the two main contenders that I would say, you could move Linus Karlsson to center, but Max Sasson and Niels Oman are probably the guys that they would go to. They've been playing Sasson at center this preseason, which is pretty good. But that is the current group. The current group as it stands is like a 1C, a 3C, and then a 3C, 4C, 3C, 4C. Ratu can be a 3C this season if he takes a step up, but then he has to really develop into that role. So he could take a step up to start. He also has to develop and play well. I believe he can. Bluger is a 4C. Locke, great 4C to have. I think Teddy Bluger is an amazing fourth line center to have. Filipino, though, he's seen as a third line center. He can be a 2C. He's had the potential to be a 2C his entire career. He didn't have as much playing time, and he never really got the role with the Rangers. So maybe the role opening up in Vancouver can help him boost up. But there's also injury concerns. The reason the Canucks wanted to trade for a 2C is because of the injury concerns. They want a guy who's consistent at 2C, especially with Hedel being seen as a 3C. But they want a guy who's legitimately a 2C and probably doesn't have the same injury concerns. But I'm not concerned about a Hedel injury until it happens, okay? Hoglander got hurt. That's what I want to worry about. We just got the news right now, actually like 15 minutes ago. Hoglander's going to be week to week, so expect him to be out 2 weeks. He might not be there for the start of the season, which is sucky, but hopefully it could be a little better. My cat's going crazy outside. But I'm going to let him in. So cut, and then we'll come back and we'll do into how they're playing. All right, we're back. There he is, my cat. He likes to sit on my chair. For some reason, he wanted me to pick him up this time. He always jumps up, but he likes it when we pick him up, especially for his food. All right, how are they playing? Still figuring out the pointing. How are they playing? So, Elias Pettersson, we haven't seen too much of him. From what I've seen, though, looks like Elias Pettersson of old. I want to fix my hat. Looks like Elias Pettersson from old. Looks very good. I'm happy with, the small amount that I've seen, but we need to see more. Hopefully he's in tonight's game against Seattle tonight. Maybe he plays. We'll see. Now we'll go down to Teddy Bluger, because I want to go up now. So Teddy Bluger looked amazing in the scrimmage. Has he played a preseason game? Is a great question. I don't think he has played a preseason game, but from what I've seen from Teddy Bluger, I've really liked what I've seen. Ratu is the same thing. Teddy Bluger brings a lot of energy. I think bringing a lot of energy is perfect for whatever he sits. He can be that third line guy if he has to. If Ratu is not there yet, you could put Teddy Bluger on the third line, and I feel like playing with Garland, playing with a guy like O'Connor, because Hoglander's hurt now, so it's going to be a guy like O'Connor. Definitely raises the bar. Hoglander getting hurt opens up another spot for another fourth line player, so one of those depth players. Arshdeep Bains, Linus Karlsson could be on the fourth line with Teddy Bluger, Ratu. Put them with Ratu. Ooh, put them with Ratu. Have that be the fourth line. Have that just be a fun fourth line. And then Bluger, O'Connor, Garland. No, Bluger. Oh, does it open up a spot? Top six, Garland. Oh, Garland's in the top six now for sure. So then Sherwood, O'Connor. Oh man, that line's gonna be fun. All right, so then Atu Ratu. I really liked what I've seen from him. Not the game-breaking speed that obviously we didn't expect game-breaking speed from Atu Ratu, but we expected a little bit of improvement in his speed. We haven't really seen it, but I've liked what I've seen. He's played great in the 2 preseason games that I've seen. The first game, I was like, the last game, I really liked what I saw from Ratu. Chase Stillman was also playing really good, so it kind of elevated Ratu's game. You know what? I'm not going to say it elevated Ratu's game. I'm going to say that Chase Stillman was playing so good that it made it easier for Atu Ratu to find plays, because he's playing with a guy like Chase Stillman. He's playing with a guy. I think he was playing with Kravtsov to start. Hoglander got hurt. Kravtsov got moved up. Stillman got moved up as well because Stillman was playing so good. They moved him up in the lineup, so Ratu wasn't really playing consistently with players. They need to put him on a line with Baines and Carlson. Put him on a line with Sherwood and O'Connor. See how it works. With Hoglander's injury, you have a more set top 9. Now your bottom 6 is really just Bluger. It could be Bluger, Carlson, Baines. It could be Ratu, Carlson, Baines. Right? I think Baines moves in. The only reason I think Baines moves in is the chemistry. I could see people making a point for Oman on the wing. I could see a case for maybe Kravtsov a little bit. Chase Stillman maybe, but I think he's an injury guy. All right, but that's nonetheless. How are they playing? We're done that. Oh, Filipino. This podcast is scuffed. You screwed me up, Kenny. Thor, you screwed me up. Filipino is playing awesome. I think that his energy is great. He needs to slow down a little bit. He's going a little too fast. It's like his hands can't keep up with his speed. If he slows down a little bit, he's going to be great. The only worry I have is his head down going into zones. Needs to have his head up. If he starts slowing down a little bit, he's still fast if he slows down. So if he starts slowing down a little bit, he can have his head up. He'll feel more comfortable with the puck. He needs to just start working on those small things. Chytil can be dangerous. I thought he looked great. I know people are like, oh, they're just overreacting because he scored a goal and got an assist. No, Filipino looked good. He's playing with good speed. The only problem I have with him is that he skates too fast for his hands sometimes. So all he has to do is just slow down. And since he's skating too fast for his hands, he has to look down to make sure that he's keeping the puck. So what he's got to really try to focus on is slowing down, but still skating quick, but slowing down to where his hands can keep up, so that he doesn't have to worry about putting his head down, and so that he doesn't get caught. Boom, right? NHL defensemen will find that. But yeah, Chytil's playing great. I think he could honestly mold into this 2C role if he finds those small, gets those small things figured out, doesn't get hurt, and plays great. Plays how he is. He can honestly mold into this 2C role, but there's an asterisk because he's like a 3C. He could get hurt. Ratu could develop. Coots looks great. That's another one. Braden Coots looks great. 9 games for him. Bring him in. Play him on the third line. Play him on the second line. Near the end of the season, just get him in some NHL games. Might as well. I don't think Coots makes the roster. But I'm not saying Coots isn't impressive. Coots wasn't playing great. Coots is playing awesome. What are the options? That is the next one. So the options are playing this as is. So yeah, let's do fingers here. Playing it as is, or trading for a 2C, and then figuring out the roster in that kind of way. So with losing Hoglander, it opens up room for a more top 6 forward. But it's only for a week. It opens up the room to get a top 6 winger. I don't think that should happen. I think that you need to still just look for a 2C, no matter the top 6 getting a little more weak. The top 9's really more weak because I don't know if Hoglander moves into the top 6, but he's in the top 9 automatically. So the top 9's gotten a little weaker. Let's see here. So you got play it as is, and then trade for a 2C. So if you trade for a 2C, Chytil moves down to the third line. Bluger moves down to the scratched. Ratu moves down to the fourth line. And then you got... So you probably move Bluger in that trade for cap space. Retain 50%. You could get a player like that. I would say that is like the only scenario I see a trade happening. You move Hoglander, you move Ratu up to the wing on Heedle's line, and you play Bluger on the fourth line. I wouldn't move Hoglander. I feel like Bluger's the only smart thing to move because Ratu at fourth line center is great, and then Heedle at third line center with how he's playing is great. But also, you don't want to trade. You don't want to trade Bluger in case Heedle gets hurt. Now you got your new 2C, Ratu, and Bluger. So there's multiple options here. You trade Bluger with it because you're expecting Heedle to play the entire season. You don't trade Bluger with it. You keep Heedle. I think Forbert is the guy. I think Forbert gets beat out by these young defensemen, and then he's the easy cap space you move, and then you give up. You give up probably like Kirill Kudryavtsev. I don't know. I like our D core. Because then if you're going to keep Forbert, then you move one of those young D guys, like Mancini or DPD. But we want more Pedersens, and we want more than 3. So I don't know. But let's move into the last little bit. What would I do? Now, obviously, I'm just a kid who sits in his room and talks hockey. I'm not the general manager. My work, like what I think, is not 100% what we should do. I am wrong on 55% of the occasion. But on the occasions that I'm right, I take it. Those are the only ones I jot down. I don't know how wrong I've been, but I know how right I've been. What would I do? Still figuring out the pointing. Honestly, right now, I feel like we run with what we have just for the start of the season. I would say give it 1 to 2 months. Give it... I think 1 to 2 months is a little too long. Give it 1 month. See how this does. Because, honestly, I think we would overpay. There's a lot of demand in the market right now for a 2C, but there's not a lot of supply. So right now, the reason there's not a lot of supply is because of teams, only one team saying they want to sell, and that is the Pittsburgh Penguins. So technically, we can go be like, how's Ratu? I wouldn't give up Ratu. No, they wouldn't give up Ratu. How's a first round pick for this year, a second round pick for next season, and 2 third-round picks for both this year and this. I don't even know if we have all that. Let me go to Puckpedia just to make sure. So I'm not making like a dumb trade. I mean, obviously I'm making like just a hypothetical phone call. It's not realistically what's going to happen. We don't have a third-round pick for this year. Okay, so how about a first-round pick for this year, a second-round pick for 2028, a third-round pick for 2027, 2028, a fourth-round pick, and either Heedle or Hoglander for Sidney Crosby, 50%, 25% retained. And then if it's Hoglander, I'd say 50% retained. Could work. Or Derek Forbert. Here's a bunch of draft picks. Derek Forbert, and then let's sell the farm. I mean, honestly, we could probably give up. You want your third round pick back we got for Shilovs, or fourth round pick. The fourth round pick for Chicago, the fourth round pick from Toronto. Our 3 fourth round picks, and then a second round pick and Derek Forbert for Sidney Crosby, 50% retained. That'd be pretty funny. Obviously, that's not going to happen. I don't think they trade for Crosby. Having a little fun here. Obviously, they don't trade for Crosby. Fourth round picks are apparently pretty valuable if you look at how the Canucks have been collecting them. What's my Puckpedia and glitching? Noticing that just on Puckpedia. But I think you wait about 1 month. Wait a month into the season. See how, your team's doing and other teams do. So teams like Seattle who have like Jared McCann. Teams like Anaheim who have Mason McTavish. I think he resigns, but teams like that, you know what I mean? Teams that have those 2Cs that will fall down into a lower bracket. Buffalo with Alex Tuck. I feel like Alex Tuck is very loyal to Buffalo, but it's a business, right? It's a business. So Alex Tuck could be traded this season. He is expiring, right? Pavel Zacha, I don't know if Pavel Zacha really fits it. I mean, he's getting paid less. So that's what I like about Pavel Zacha. He's getting paid a little less, so we don't have to take on as much. But, yeah, just see how teams do. See how they're progressing, and if it ends out happening like where you can find a 2C, make a trade, and it's good, make the trade. Honestly, just make the trade. It makes the team better. So like I'm not opposed to making the trade, but I'm fine with what we have for now. I'm not happy. I'm not overly happy. When I say I'm happy with what we have now, I don't think we have a 1C, 2C, 3C, 4C. I think we have a 1C, maybe 2C, maybe 3C, legit 4C. But it could work. But when we make a trade, we're going to have a legit 1C, legit 2C, a legit 3C, a 3C, 4C, and a legit 4C. And we'll have center depth. That's the most important part. The fact that we only have 4 centers. You can never have enough centers. I think it's the hockey guy who says that. You can never have enough centers. But yeah, that's what I'd do. Wait a month, try to make a trade, but stick with what we have for at least a month because it seems like it could work, and hopefully they all stay healthy. That's the only thing. If Hedel gets injured, you gotta shoot that trade in. I don't care if you overpay. Boom. First round pick, second round pick, third round pick, Jared McCann, 50% retain. Boom. Or if Derek Forbert, boom. If Hedel's on it for the rest of the year, actually, then we could save $3 million in cap space. We don't have to do 50% retain. Because I think since Hedel wouldn't play in the playoffs, if he's out for the entire season, then yeah, we get the caps. He doesn't count against the cap because it's whoever you ice. But yeah, that is it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have set a personal goal to try to hit 500 subscribers by the end of this season. By April, we're on pace for about 400. We had a big boost thanks to Nothing is Perfect for having me on. I had a boost of almost like, I think it was about 8 subscribers, which for me is insane. There's been a lot of guys joining this channel, watching. If you guys enjoy this content and you like my videos and you're a Canucks fan, make sure to subscribe. I would appreciate it so much. And leave a comment. What do you guys think? I like talking to you guys. It's always fun and enjoyable to talk to you guys. But the video on your right is the video from Wednesday. The video on your left is the video from Monday. Spotify. What's it like seeing my face? I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.